Almost all more than 6 lakh villages of India having Ram temples, at least in a thatched houses. We have a Ram temples across the subcontinent and beyond the subcontinent. Who has propagated this Rama's story? Who has? When it started? This is an enigmatic question. However, it is a practical. It is almost palpable that everyone can observe this Rama's influence on Indian story, on Indian culture. In fact, this Rama's story, that is the Ramayana, has given a greatest dynamism to India's civilization. So Indian civilization is one of the oldest uninterrupted and a living, a perennial civilization. Do you know how the Indian civilization becomes the perennial civilization? So according to Sarvepalli Radhakrishna, the periodical incarnation gave a dynamism to Indian civilization and becoming a perennial civilization and a living civilization. Out of all incarnations of Lord Vishnu, 10 incarnations, okay, the Lord Ram, the Rama's incarnation, one of the greatest incarnations out of all incarnations. Why? Because of his influence on Indian society. Indian socio-economical, political, psychological and philosophical, in almost all dimensions, we can see the profound impact of the Lord Rama and Sita. This Rama and his consort Sita has influenced almost all arenas of Indian civilizational aspects. That is what the impact of Lord Rama. This Rama, okay, we have the temples across the country, but during the medieval period, because of this outside invasions, especially the Islamic invasions, has caused to demolish of these Rama's temples, especially in Ayodhya Temple was demolished in 16th and 15th century. Since then, India has not been having any kind of temple in Ayodhya. Now, India has constructed it. It is going to be consecrated on 22 January. On the eve of this construction and inauguration, consecration of the new Ram temple, that too in Ayodhya, where he has born. Okay? So, this is an important time to discuss about the Rama and his influence. What are the reasons behind his greatest profound impact on Indian civilization? How it impacted? This is what the very important. See, India is the highest populous country. So India, in between the mighty Himalayas in the north and the third largest ocean in the south, Indian huge landmass is known as Indian subcontinent. Earlier it was known as Jambu Dwepa, and after that this Bharatvarsha. The Jambu Dwepa, it is beyond its natural boundaries of the Himalayas and the Indian Ocean. Even it is spread across up to this this Africa, Middle East, and up to Siberia in the north, and all the Southeast Asian nations islands comes under the Jambu Dwepa influence. At that time, which means when the India's fame and India's dominance, suzerainty spread almost across the globe, almost half of the globe, we had this kingdom, that is the Kosala kingdom. This Kosala's this prince was Lord Ram. Okay, he was a beautiful, handsome personality. His consort is Sita. Okay, he is always valued. He has, according to this Valmiki, who wrote this Ramayana in Sanskrit, he portrayed Rama's character as an ideal character. He is a Maryada Purushottam, a man out of a great man out of all men. So how? Because he has almost all 16 greatest characteristics of human being. That is what is greatness. So he is purely a pure love he has showered to his subject, towards all, include family members, his clan and his society and his subject across this world. When he had to leave his kingdom on the 14 years of exile, that is the greatest ordeal for him. to test his characteristics. Along with his brother Lakshmana and consort, he went to the forest, especially Dandaka, and he traveled across the Indian subcontinent mostly. And finally, this exile period ended with a great war that he won with Ravan. He becomes victorious. He redeemed Sita. Sita was abducted by Ravana. Okay, this was the story in a synopsis. But in between these 14 years, at the age of around 16 years, at the age of 16, he went to exile. At the around 28 years, he returned. So at the prime age, he spent 14 years in the forest. During this period, okay, according to some critics, that he was the cause behind Aryanization of the Indian subcontinent. But I don't believe this Aryanization, Dravidization, etc. But whatever the reason is, then there is a wild and inhuman and brutal type of the practices, social practices. He spread these great practices, human values based on the human values, reason and love. He spread the culture. He civilized the even southern parts as well. Okay, during this period, he worshipped and he made a friendship with Guha. Okay, a low cadre people and a tribals. And Hanuman, like a primitive tribe in the Kishkinda, this present Hampi area, and even he made a friendship with the Rakshasa, these Dravidian people of Vibhishana, etc. So he showcased a great love, a pure love, untainted love towards not only humans, all kinds and caste and all tribal people. He also showcased this kind of love towards all animals. So this is the greatness of this Lord Rama. Okay, he mesmerized the whole people at that time. Not only that one, even after him, in the post-Rama period, this Rama's followers and devotees spread this and propagated this Rama. And the great poet, the first poet of this Sanskrit, Valmiki, portrayed his character in the name of, with the title of Ramayana, a path of Rama, or a life story of the Rama and Sita. This around 24,000 verses, 24,000 slokas. Okay, it was written around 8th century BC. Okay, 8th century, around 3,500 years from the present. Since then, it has been enthralling the whole nation. Okay, the later this Sanskrit Ramayana is translated into almost all languages of the nation, almost all languages, not only these Indian languages, even the world languages, Vietnamese, Russian, and this all include Japanese language as well. This is the story of Lord Rama. So how he influenced his story because of his beauty and these various values, ethos and religious and commitment, resolve, love-based story. This not only influenced his era. This story and his characters, Sita, especially Sita, characters influenced almost all people. For example, the Mithila wedding, Lord Rama and Sita's wedding in Mithila in the 7th or 8th century BC, before Christ, 800 years or 1000 years before Christ, the wedding which took place in Mithila has been guiding almost all weddings of the subcontinent since then. This is what the impact, in that way, the whole family system, which is the very important base or spine of Indian civilization, we got this family structure, system, this all relationship among the family members, between brothers and these daughters and father, and sons and father, and sons and mothers, and every relationship, not only that one, in the family system, is being influenced by Rama. That was established. This not only Rama, this Rama is a highly disciplined student. That is why he got the blessings of the greatest scholars, the scholars like Vishwamitra, Vasishta, Sarabanga, Agastya, the greatest scholars has guided his character. Okay, they sculptured his character. That is what Rama. And even Sita also is concerned. This Sita, without Sita, we can't imagine Rama. This Rama's fame because of Sita. Sita was guided by the greatest scholars, then women scholars like Gargi, Kasayana, Maitreyi, and Yajnavalkya, Shantana, that such a kind of, and his her father Janaka himself is a Rajarshi, a great scholar according to Bhagavad Gita, the story teller of the Lord Krishna. The Janaka is the perfect karma yogi. He guided the Janaki. That's why when she was abducted by Ravana, she was kept in the abduction process in the 10 months around in Lanka. She showcased her greatest valor, knowledge, and she asked the Ravana, she dared the Ravana that I am the daughter of Janaka, not as a wife of Lord Rama. That was the proud that she has in her knowledge, in her bringing up, etc., etc. So her story is one of the greatest. According to Vivekananda, the Sita's story, the Sita's role in the whole human history, whole human narrations is one of the greatest. This feminine and pagan beauty, this Sita. The Sita Rama, Rama Sita or Sita Rama story, one of the greatest and greatest stories which are influenced the human civilization. That is why this great out of all two epics of India, this Ramayana influenced India. According to C. Rajagopala Sari in his Ramayana, he quoted that this every Indian consciously and unconsciously are bringing up under the trees of Ramayana and Mahabharata. That was the profound impact of the Ramayana on Indian population, Indian society, Indian culture and Indian civilization. This Rama's story entered into every art form, art, music, sculpture and everything, even recent music, these movies and everything is being influenced by the Rama, because there is a beauty is there, it is beyond description. The whole human languages are not sufficient enough to describe how it influenced the Indian civilization. Because Indian civilization, I told you at the outset that Indian is one of the oldest civilization, uninterrupted like a perennial river. It is a living civilization. How it got the living civilization? Because of the momentum, the dynamism which got from the Ramayana like stories. The whole Vedas, the four Vedas, later Upanishad, Brahmins and everything. The essence of all Indian literature, the greatest world's first literature, the essence of and the crux of this literature is there in Ramayana in a simple language. Even a common folk can understand what it is imbibing, what it is imparting to them. So they are simply following, unconsciously they are following. That's why this Ramayana is the spine and backbone of the Indian civilization. So it is very delight for every Indian to that we have a Lord temple, a reconstructed Lord temple, a rejuvenated Lord temple we are going to get in Ayodhya. So it is and this is the story, okay, Ayodhya story. And one thing we should, earlier I told you that every village, almost all 6 lakh, more than 6 lakh villages we have, every village having at least a Lord Ram temple, at least in a Taj house. Why? Who propagated this after the Rama's demise? Lord Hanuman and other followers have propagated this Rama story, especially this Valmiki Ramayana. And then this Valmiki Ramayana was translated into almost every language of the Indian subcontinent. So even in Telugu, Tamil and every language, even in tribal languages as well, at least in cultural art forms as well. So in that way this Rama story was spread across this one. So why they have propagated this story? Because of this culture, through this story they imbibed, okay, they imported the human values, love and social structure and family values to the all people. That is why India has been, okay, uninterruptedly moving as a living civilization. Now there is a problem for this one. So during the 712 and in 712 India's sin comes under these Persians. Since then up to 1947, around 1300 years, India had not been ruled by Indians. The foreigners ruled. During this process, outside religions attacked India. Okay, their main concern was to destroy India. So how they had destroyed the India's surrounding civilizations? They gave final death knell to earlier Mesopotamian civilization, Babylonian civilization, Egyptian civilization, Central Asian civilization, Indonesian, etc., etc. But no, they could not succeed in destroying the Indian civilization because of this Ramas, the Ramayana-like stories. It means the Indian culture is so strong, even foreigners could not understand what is the strength of India. That's what India's culture. They could not touch even the branch of this Indian cultural roots, deep roots. The Indian cultural roots are there in the Ramas, this kind of stories. So that is why India has been surviving. Okay, no matter who ruled and who invaded geographically, physically, and socially. But however, they could not touch, they could not understand this India's cultural roots. That's why India is so strong. Now there is a problem for this one. What is the problem? Rama. If this Rama's temple in Ayodhya is sufficient enough? No, never. This Rama's story, this Rama's temples in every nook and corner and in every village of the country should be restored. Then only we will have Rama Dharma. I am not talking about the religion. This Rama story is nothing to do with religion. Especially it is very important for the Hindu literature. But however, whatever that values, whatever that things it has propagated, it is for the whole humanity. That is why we can describe India is not a Hindu nation. Indian civilization is mightier. Okay, this Hinduism is an integral part and parcel of Indian civilization and Indian culture. But Hinduism and this Rama stories are not important. But however, these are very important part of this Indian civilization. I am not talking about the prime religion of Hinduism. Rama is the prime god of Hinduism. But however, whatever the things we got from the Ramayana are not only confined to Hinduism. Is confined to whole human civilization, whole human harmony, peace and harmony of the humankind. That's why India is the miniature of the world. India's this important, this Vaisthika Kutumbakam, okay, Vishwa Guru, this miniature and the unity in diversity and secularism, the present democracy, it is because of the Ramas stories. So it is beyond Hinduism, it is beyond Indian subcontinent, it is beyond India. It is beyond Indian civilization. It is an important asset, important treasure of whole humanity. That's why Rama belongs to whole humanity. Rama belongs to whole universe. So he is the story which is important for the base for the human harmony and secularism and democratic process of the present modern world. Because in one occasion, he told, just before going to war with this one, he gave a great quotation. The present Geneva War Conventions rules were established by this Ramayana. We can see in this one. He hated the war. He quoted in one occasion just before this Ravana war, he quoted that war has the potential to kill civilization. This is very important, which is relevant. Ramayana has more relevance in this aspect. Family system, clan, society, this subject, kingship, this democratic process, wherever, and environmental protection, wherever we go, this Ramayana has much relevance. That's why this Rama's temple should be restored in every village of the country. The Rama Dharma, they should be the centers of excellency to spread this Rama Dharma, so that we will have harmony and peaceful, not only India, this whole world. So this is the story of relevance to solve the present problem. It is Rama is the panacea to the present solve the problem. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, he got the Rama, okay, from his housemaid named Ramba. The great Gandhi, okay, we got this freedom because of by means of this violence and this non-violence and truth through the God means. That is Gandhi's. The great Gandhi frequently chanted his name. The great Gandhi is the devotee of Lord Rama. It is very important. Not only that one, he guided the greatest men after him. So this is the Rama story. It is a endless story. Once we started the Rama story, it is endless. The greatest devotees, even literature, art and everything, every arena, we can see Rama's influence. So this is an occasion, not only build up this temple, of course it is very delightful to have the great temple, the Bhavya temple in the Ayodhya, but however it is not sufficient for India. We should build up, we should restore this Rama Dharma oriented temples in every village and every village of the nation. Okay, why? Because whenever we remember this Rama's name, it will enable us to think over the values of the family system, towards the societies, our responsibility towards the all persons of our family, clan, society, the entire universe. So is the story very important for the and base for the human Indian civilization.